unmute yourself. Yeah. No, that's fine. So there are the people who are very much new to SAP in the class also. That's why I'm going to start from the scratch. This, what is SAP, what is FICO, what exactly the functions of the functional consultant, and all these things I'm going to cover in today's class, right? So here, SAP stands for Systems, Applications, and Products in Data Processing. This is the amplification for the word SAP. This SAP is called an ERP package or ERP software. Before going to understand what is SAP, first we have to understand the concept of ERP. So ERP here stands for Enterprise Resources Planning. Enterprise means any business organization is called enterprise, and every business organization, while doing the business, they use some resources. They are men, materials, machines, and money. And these are called natural resources, and these are not plentifully available to any business enterprise. Now, you take any business enterprise, the main objective is earning maximum profits. It's not just earning the profits, earning maximum profits. For this purpose, every business enterprise is having only two alternatives. Number one, in order to increase the profits, we have to increase the sales. To increase the sales, again we have to increase the production. Again, to increase the production, we have to increase the utilization of these resources, but these are not plentifully available, and because these are limited resources. So there is a limitation to the organization's capacity. There is a limitation to the organization's capacity to go on increasing the profits beyond a certain point. Then what is the, so the first alternative, it is not compatible for the organizational objective. That is maximization of the profits. Then what is the second alternative? You take any business enterprise, whether large or small, whatever it is, they will have some amount of resources. So whatever the amount of resources they are having, they have to use them in the most effective manner. So in this particular context, the concept of planning will come into existence. So we have to plan in such a way that the available resources are utilized in the most effective manner and profits are maximized. Simply saying, this is the concept of ERP. Planning for the effective utilization of available resources of the enterprise to maximize the profits. That is the meaning of ERP. So in short, it covers all the techniques and concepts for the best utilization of the resources of the enterprise to maximize the profits. And every ERP is based on the integrated management of all the departments in the enterprise. So what is the integrated management? We have to establish the links among the departments in terms of software so that there is the free flow of information among the departments. That is called integrated management. So how this integration is achieved with the help of ERP, I will discuss within the next few minutes. Now, I will tell you how the concept of ERP helps the business enterprises to maximize the profits. Before that, we should understand what are the problems that are faced by the companies in the non-ERP environment. See, for example, if you take this as an organization, you have many departments in the company like finance and accounts, marketing, sales, production planning and control department, production, HR, purchase. Like that, we have many departments in the enterprise. Now, every department has to work towards the achievement of organizational objective, that is maximization of the profits. Now, during this process, every department will have their own goals and objectives. Now, you take this finance and accounts department. Its main objective is to generate the maximum rate of return on the investment. Investment means shareholders' investment. So in order to maximize the return on the investment, this finance and accounts department wants to reduce the expenditure wherever it is possible. By reducing the expenditure, the finance department wants to maximize the profits. Now, you take marketing department. Its main objective is to create the market for the organization's product so that demand is increased and sales are increased and profits are increased. For this purpose, This marketing department always wants to conduct some advertising activities or some sales promotion activities which involves spending of funds. Here if you observe, both the departments, finance and accounts and marketing, are trying to maximize the profits. But the way in which they are trying is different. Means the finance department is trying to maximize the profits by reducing the expenditure. At the same time, the marketing department is also trying to maximize the profits but by incurring some additional expenditure. Due to this fact, both the departments are pulling the organization in their own directions. As a result, there exists the conflict between finance department and marketing department. Now, I will give you one more example. You take the production planning and control department. Generally, this department wants to maintain minimum stocks of the materials as far as possible. Materials includes here raw materials, finished goods, work in progress, packing materials, consumables, etc. etc. So this production planning department wants to maintain minimum stocks of the materials as far as possible. Why? In order to minimize the carrying cost. Carrying cost means if you have to maintain the inventories of these materials, we have to lock up some working capital. And you have to pay interest on working capital to the bankers. So interest on working capital is one aspect of the carrying cost. Then we have to pay for the warehouse rent and we have to pay for the warehouse people's salaries and wages. So all these expenses coming together is called carrying cost. So in order to minimize the carrying cost, the production planning department wants to maintain minimum stocks possible. But at the same time, the production department wants to have optimum stock of the materials in order not to disturb their production function. Again, there exists a conflict between production department, production planning and control department. Like that, in the real-time organizations, in the non-ERP environment, there exist number of conflicts among the departments. Then the top management has to spend a lot of its time and effort on bringing the coordination among these departments to see that the organization is running very smoothly. But here, the top management should not waste their time on bringing the coordination. Always they have to spend their time on the performance analysis and also on the strategic decision making process. But due to the fact that they have to concentrate their time and effort on bringing the coordination, they don't have the sufficient time to concentrate on performance analysis and the strategic decision making process. This is the biggest problem faced by the companies in the non-ERP environment. Now, I will give you one more example. Here, in order to increase the profits, every department has to perform their daily functions very efficiently. For that purpose, every department needs some information from the other departments. See, for example, you take production planning and control department. Its daily function is to prepare the production schedule. Production schedule means just chalking out a plan when to start the production, in how much quantity it has to be produced, by which date it has to be completed. So simply saying, this is called production schedule. In order to prepare the production schedule, the production planning and control department has to get the information from the sales department, that is the date of delivery required by the customer. So if the production planning department is having the information of date of delivery required by the customer, accordingly it will prepare the schedule. So the production planning department is depending on sales department for the information purpose. Now you take purchase department. Its main function is to procure the materials required in the production. So every time the purchase department has to get the information from the production department regarding raw materials requirements. So purchase department is again depending on production department. Now you take accounts department. Its main daily function is to account for all the expenses and incomes which are taking place in every department. So like that, one department is depending on other departments for the information purpose. Now, in order to enable these departments to perform their functions effectively, we should ensure that there is the uninterrupted flow of information among the departments which is not there in the non-ERP environment. Even though every department is computerized, that computerization is limited to the boundaries of those particular department only. Means production planning and control department is using one software manufactured by some X company. Purchase is using another software manufactured by some Y company. Sales is using another software manufactured by Z company. And A is using, a finance and accounts department is using another software manufactured by some A company. Like that, every department is using their own softwares. As a result, we cannot integrate the software of one company with the software of another. That's why we cannot integrate the software of one department with the software of other departments. That's why there is no the free flow of information among the departments. That is the reason why every department has to wait for some time for getting the information from the other departments. So it leads to the time wastage. Because of this time wastage, the length of the production cycle time will be very long. Here, the working capital requirements of any company are based on the length of the production cycle time. What is the production cycle time? The time taken from the point of procurement of materials till you realize them into the finished goods and into the cash resources. This is called production cycle time. The more is the length of production cycle time, the more is the requirement of working capital. If you require more working capital, you have to pay more interest. So it is the burden on the profitability of the company. That's why in the non-ERP environment, we cannot maximize the profits. This is another problem faced by the companies in the non-ERP environment. Now, I will give you one more example. Here, when the purchase department purchases the materials, it receives one invoice from the supplier. Then that invoice is entered in the purchase department once in terms of quantities. Then the same invoice is again sent to the accounts department wherein it is recorded in terms of values. Means we have to post the accounting entries in the books of accounts. So here single invoice is recorded 2 times. Once in the purchase department and again in the finance and accounts department. This is called duplication of work. So here we are paying the salaries to the people in the purchase department and also to the people in the finance and accounts department. But both the persons are performing the same work, that is invoice posting. Due to this, we are wasting the money resources. So if the organizations waste their money, how can they maximize their profits? Absolutely no. So this is another problem faced by the companies in the non-ERP environment. Now finally, I will give you one more example for the problems faced by the companies. Here, there is middle level management people and top level management people. So they have to take this to optimize the profits of the company. For taking the optimum decisions, they should be provided with the right information in right time. See, for example, you take general manager finance. For a particular decision making purpose, he wants to know what is the total amount of purchases that have been made as on today. In that case, the purchase department will give one figure and the finance and accounts department will give another figure because of the time lag. Because the purchase department is in Washington and finance and accounts department is in New York. So each and every individual invoice received by the purchase department cannot be sent immediately to the finance and accounts department. The purchase department will bundle together some invoices and those invoices are sent to the accounts department once in 2 days or once in 3 days based upon their convenience. That's why there is the difference of information given by purchase department and finance and accounts department. This is called mismatching of information. So as a result, the GM finance totally gets confused what is the information he should use for his decision making purpose, whether the information given by purchase department or finance and accounts department. Means he is not provided with the right information. So he may not be able to take the optimum decisions and the profits of the enterprise may not be optimized. That is how there are many problems in the non-ERP environment. So in this particular context, the concept of ERP has been developed. The ERP is the result of informational technological developments. As I told you, every ERP is based on the integrated management of all the departments in the enterprise. So how that integration is achieved? Under the concept of ERP, we maintain one common database or the central database. So this common database or central database is given access to every department in the company subject to some restrictions. Why we have to maintain the restrictions? Here, your main intention is to provide the information to every department to the extent it is required, and at the same time, we should ensure the security of the data of the other departments. That's why we have to maintain the restrictions regarding the access to the data. Okay, fine. Let us assume that we are maintaining the common database and it has been accessed to every department in the organization. Now we will see how the previously discussed disadvantages are going to be eliminated. See, you take the information requirement of production planning and control department. It requires the data of delivery required by the customer, which is available in the sales department. How that information is readily made available? Whenever the salesperson gets the order from the customer, he prepares one document, which is called sales order. So the sales order contains the information like name of the customer, his address, then product particulars, quality particulars, price, then quantity, and also the expected date of delivery required by the customer. So all that information is contained in the sales order. Then that sales order is entered into common database by the salesperson. Then the person who is responsible to prepare the production schedule will be given access to the sales order. Then this production planning clerk will be logging into the common database. From there, he will retrieve the sales order. From the sales order, he can identify the date of delivery required by the customer. Based on that, he will prepare the schedule. Wherever may be your production planning department, wherever may be your sales department, the information required by production planning department is readily made available. Now, you take the information requirement of purchase department. This purchase department requires the details of the raw materials required to be purchased, which are used in the production department. How that information is readily made available? See, when the production department or any material is required in the production department, the production clerk will prepare one document which is called material requisition. The material requisition contains the details of the materials required to be in the production. That material requisition is entered into common database by the production clerk. Then in between we have the warehouse department. So the warehouse clerk will be logging into the common database. He will retrieve the material requisition. From there he can find the details of materials required, and accordingly he will issue the material to production. Suppose if the material is not there in the stock, then the warehouse clerk will prepare another document which is called purchase requisition. The purchase requisition contains the details of the materials required and quantity required to be purchased. That is entered into common database. That is means the purchase requisition is entered into common database by the warehouse clerk. Then the purchase clerk will be given access to the purchase requisition, and from there he can find the details of the materials required, and accordingly he will start procurement activities. That is how the information required by every department is readily made available. As a result, the length of the production, so as a result what is happening here, the time wastage is eliminated. So when it is eliminated, the length of the production cycle time is minimized. So the working capital requirements will be minimized, which leads to the minimization of the interest burden on the profitability. Again, in turn, it leads to maximizes the profits. I hope it is clear to everybody. Now, I will tell you how the duplication of work is eliminated. See, when the purchase invoice is entered in the purchase department, then the system automatically posts the accounting entries in the books of accounts. That's how there is no need to send the same invoice again to the accounts department. So that's how duplication of work is eliminated. So how the system is going to update the accounting entries in the books of accounts when the purchase invoice is entered in the purchase department, I will be showing you during the training. So that's how the duplication of work is eliminated. So when you are able to eliminate the duplication of work, we can eliminate the money wastage, and the saved money can be used for some other productive purposes. That's how the profits are maximized. Now you take the information requirement of general manager finance. See, for a particular decision making purpose, he wants to know what is the total amount of purchase that have been made as on today. In that case, he need not ask any information anybody in the organization. He can just log on into common database and he can find out the total amount of purchases that have been made as on today. Because when the purchase invoice are entered in the purchase department, it will update all the relevant information, like what? Inventories of respective materials and the account balance of respective vendors and the total amount of purchases, etc., etc. All the relevant information is readily updated as a result. By just logging into common database, the general manager finance can find out what is the total amount of purchases that have been made as on today. So he is provided with the right information right time. So he can take optimum decisions and the profits of the enterprise may be optimized. That is how the concept of ERP helps the business enterprises to maximize the profits. Now, in short, I'm just summarizing all the discussion now. These are the features of ERPs. All the data is available in the central database. Then it eliminates data redundancy, data duplication. Data duplication is eliminated. How it is eliminated, already I have explained you. Then data is updated and available in real time. Then one point entry of data. It is enough if you enter the data at one point of the organization. Means at one department of the organization, if you enter the data, that is enough. Then it will have the updations in all the other relevant points of the organization. Then best business practices inbuilt. Every ERP product has been developed after carrying on research on the business practices of different industries. And whatever the business practices that were considered best by the ERP companies, they have incorporated these business practices in their ERP products. So when you start using their ERP products, we also make use of those best business practices in our company also. Then modular system. Modular system is component system. For managing each department in the company, we have separate software developed in the ERP product. For finance and accounts department, we have the separate software. For purchase department, we have the separate software. For the sales, we have the separate software. With all these softwares are separately developed and existing within the same ERP product. That is called modular system. Can implement only required functions. Can implement only required functions. Means it's not that we have to use the ERP product in all the departments of the company. Suppose, for example, the management wants to use the ERP product only in the finance department and marketing department and production department. It is quite possible. Then others can easily be integrated later. See, after using the ERP product in the finance department, marketing department and sales department, after 1 year, the management has been very much satisfied with the results. Then it wants to go for using the same ERP in other departments. It is quite possible. Then those other departments can also be integrated with the existing departments. That is the meaning of others can easily be integrated later. Then managers can utilize their time in analysis and spend less time in coordination effort. This is the very, very important advantage of the ERP products. So that's how the concept of ERP helps the business enterprises to maximize the profits. Then Roser, you have any questions till now? Are we You have any questions? If you have any questions, you please type them in the chat box. Todd. I don't know what happened. I'm not able to see or I'm not able to hear anything. Okay. I hope everybody is clear with this concept till now. So let us proceed further. So SAP, so it improves customer satisfaction, obviously. Now, SAP is such a ERP product. SAP is such a ERP product. Here, along with SAP, you have hundreds of ERP products in the market. You have Oracle, BON, PeopleSoft, etc., etc. We have the hundreds of ERP products available in the market. Now, if you take Oracle, it is specialized in the management of finance and accounts department. And if you take BON, it is specialized in the management of your production department. And if you take PeopleSoft, it is specialized in the management of HR department. But if you take SAP, it provides the solutions for the effective management of every department in the organization. And the level of integration you have, the level of integration you can have with the help of SAP is very high when compared to the level of integration with the help of other ERP products. That is why SAP is enjoying, that's why SAP is the world #1 ERP product. SAP is the world #1 ERP product. Presently, this SAP product is enjoying nearly 48% of market share internationally. And the remaining 52% is shared by all other ERP products together. That is why we have a lot of employment opportunities only in case of SAP. As on today, there are nearly 140,000 companies are there using SAP software. 140,000 companies are there using the SAP software throughout the world. That is why we have a lot of employment opportunities only in case of SAP. So this SAP software was developed by a company which is called SAP AG, SAP.AG. It's a German company, right? So this German company was established in 1972. And its headquarters are at Waldorf, Germany. So this is the brief history of this SAP software and SAP company. See here, let us see the evaluation of the product. In 1972, the SAP company has developed a product which is called SAP R1 Suite. In 1980s, it has developed a product known as SAP R2 Suite. In 1990s, it has developed a product known as SAP R3 Suite. Now, this is the product what we are using now, right? And all the other two are totally outdated. Actually, SAP company has developed nearly 60 plus products. Of all the products, SAP R3 Suite is very famous and very demanded product. And you have the other products of SAP company like SRM, Supply Relations Management, then CRM, Customer Relationship Management, Business Warehousing, right? Like that, SAP has developed nearly 60 plus products. Of all these products, SAP R3 is the very popular product. Nowadays, other products are also becoming very popular. So here, you know the meaning of SAP, because this is the product what we are using now, SAP R3 Suite. And the current version of this software is ECC 6.0, which stands for ERP Central Component. ERP Central Component. So on this version only, I'm going to provide you the training. So here, let us try to understand what is this product. Here, SAP stands, you know that SAP stands for Systems, Applications, and Products in Data Processing. Then suite means, see, the literal meaning of the word suite is combination of some objects. Here, the SAP software has been developed with all the softwares necessary to manage all the departments in the enterprise. So it is the combination of all the softwares. That's why the SAP company has incorporated the word suite in the name of its product. Now coming to R3, this is very, very important. It conveys the total nature of the product. See, for example, here R stands for real-time data processing. Real-time data processing means whenever you perform an operation on the data elements, the related database is instantly updated. See, for example, when you draw money from the bank ATM, it is giving back your updated statement immediately because it is working on the principles of real-time data processing concept. So for that matter, your railway reservation systems, flight reservation systems, all the facilities we are enjoying in your daily life is the result of this real-time data processing concept only. So SAP also uses the same real-time data processing concept. That is why when we have entered the purchase invoice in the purchase department, it is updating the vendor figures and the inventory figures in the accounts department. That is the result of this real-time data processing. So SAP also uses the same real-time data processing concept. That is why it has incorporated the letter R in the name of its product. Then coming to 3. 3 stands for 3-tier architecture. Actually, it refers to the levels of hardware setup you require to use the SAP software. Under the 3-tier architecture, actually every ERP they use client-to-server technology. Client-to-server technology means, one second. Okay, see here, client-to-server technology means we have some servers and we have some clients. See here, the clients and servers are both the computer systems from the hardware perspective. But the servers are with large storage capacity and the clients are with a small storage capacity. Under the 3-tier architecture, we have the 3 types of servers. Number 1, database server layer. Number 2, application server layer. Number 3, client or presentation server layer. Here, database server means it is the computer system in which the database of the organization is hosted. So what does the database contains here? All the business transactions incurred and posted into the database every day. So the database contains all the business transactions incurred and posted every day. So when you have the concept of database, there comes the question of database management. So who is responsible to manage the database? As the SAP professionals, we are not in any way responsible for the database management. There are some other professionals like database managers and database administrators who will look after this database management. This database is managed on the principles of Relational Database Management System, RDBMS. So here you have hundreds of RDBMS tools available in the market like Oracle, SQL Server, DB2, Informix. Like that, we have the hundreds of RDBMS tools available in the market. So based on the budget of the company, they can go for any of the RDBMS tools. In most of the cases, we use Oracle database system. So that is the thing regarding database server. Then coming to application server. APS means application server. Application server means it is the server again in which the SAP software is hosted or stored. Here the SAP software contains the processing logic or the processing code, the programming code which is necessary. The application server contains the programming code which is necessary to process the business transactions. Here we have to have some number of application servers. Why? Because if you have only one application server and the same application server is used for all the processing needs, in that case the load on the application server will be very high and again it will take a lot of processing time. That is the problem if you have only one application server. So how many number of application servers we have to have? Who will decide? I will tell you within the next few minutes. So application server 1, application server 2, application server 3. Like that, we have to have some number of application servers. Then coming to client server. Every application server is connected to some number of clients. Here clients means these are the desktops or laptops which are used by the employees to feed the data, to generate the reports, to analyze the reports, or in short, in order to perform their daily activities. So here, if you observe, this is one layer, this is second layer, and this is third layer. That's why this is called three-tier architecture. I have presented this in the more refined manner. This is the SAP R3 system architecture. These are the client systems, which is collectively called presentation layer. Then different client systems are connected to different application servers. Each application server will have the SAP software installed in them. Then all the application servers are connected to database server. And this database server is managed on the principles of relational database management systems. This is the meaning of three-tier architecture. R2 means two-tier architecture. In the two-tier architecture, we manage the database and SAP application within the same server. Then the first layer and the second layer in the three-tier architecture will become only one layer here. Then all the clients together is another layer. That is the two-tier architecture. Then R1 means single tier. So within the same system, database, SAP application, and the client program are existing. That is called three-tier architecture. Nowadays, we are using only, that is called single tier architecture, not the three-tier. I'm extremely sorry. If all the three layers, that is database layer, then application layer, and client program will be existing in the same system, that is called R1 or single tier or single layer architecture. Nowadays, we are using only three-tier architecture because the advantage is you can increase or decrease the size of any layer without disturbing the size of the other layers. See, for example, today we have recruited 10 finance executives in your company, and these 10 executives are to be provided with the systems, with the client systems. They can be accommodated in any of the existing application servers because these application servers are connected again with each other through message servers. So all these are technicalities. That's why here nowadays we are using only the R3 system architecture. The R1 and R2 are totally outdated. Now here I told you the name of the product what we are using is SAP R3. So under this product, basically we have the two types of modules. Number one, functional modules. Number two, technical modules. Under the functional modules, we have the FICO. These functional modules are fully developed softwares. These functional modules are fully developed softwares which are used to manage one department in the company. So under the functional modules, we have the financial accounting and controlling, which is simply called FICO. It is used to manage your finance and accounts department. Then we have the materials management, which is simply called MM. This is used to manage your purchase department. Then sales and distribution, SD. It is for the purpose of managing your sales department. Then HR, then quality maintenance, then plant maintenance, then project systems, then production planning and control, then real estate management, then workflow. Then again you have the treasury management, travel management, financial supply chain management. Like that, you have the number of functional modules under the SAP R3 product. Each module itself is a fully developed software, and each module is for the purpose of managing every department in the company. So if you remember, all these softwares are developed by the same SAP company. As a result, one software can be integrated with the other software. But in the case of non-ERP, what happened? The departments are using different softwares manufactured by different companies. That's why integration was very difficult there. But now all these FICO, MM, SD, HR, QM, PM, all these are developed by the same company. As a result, one software can be integrated with the other softwares. That's why there is the free flow of information among the departments. So these are the softwares, means there should be a language in which all these softwares have been developed. That language is ABAP. So ABAP is called, ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application Programming Language. So this is the first technical module, and it is the own programming language of SAP AG company. Then you have another technical module which is called BASIS. So here, BASIS stands for Business Application Software Integrated Systems. In order to learn BASIS, right, we have to have the networking knowledge, and we should be conversant with one of the operating systems. Then if you want to learn ABAP, you should have some programming skills, right? And if you want to learn any of the functional modules, it is enough if you have the academic understanding of the respective subjects, or if you have the working knowledge in the respective departments. In these functional modules, we need not write any programming at all. We need not write any programming at all. Here, if you learn any of the functional modules, you get a job as a functional consultant. And if you learn any of the technical modules, you get a job as a technical consultant. More particularly on functional side, if you learn FICO, you get a job as FICO consultant. If you learn MM, you get a job as MM consultant. If you learn SD, you get a job as SD consultant. So who is consultant? As a consultant, what is your functions? Here, there are two roles. Number one, end user role and consultant role. End users means the employees of the company using the SAP software are called end users. Suppose you take LG company, right? So LG company is using SAP software. So the employees of the LG company are called end users. For example, I'm an accounts officer in the LG company. So as an accounts officer, I have to generate some reports. I have to analyze the reports. From that analysis, I have to prepare some more reports. So this is my job duties every day as an end user. So in order to enable me to perform all these activities, already some settings should have been done in the FICO software. These settings are done by consultant. So the consultants will do the settings, more particularly FICO consultant. Let us talk about FICO only from now onwards. So here, the FICO consultant has to make the settings in the FICO software so that the end users of the FICO department, or so that the end users of the finance and accounts department can use the FICO software. This is technically called configuration and customization. So the main job of the FICO consultant is to configure and customize the SAP software according to the client requirements. So here, what is the requirement of the finance and accounts department? It has to prepare the financial statements according to the legal requirements of the country in which we are doing the business. So financial statements means profit loss account and balance sheet. Here, as a FICO consultant, you have to do the settings in the software so that the financial statements are prepared as and when they are required. During this process, every aspect of the accounting management is effectively taken care, and every aspect of the financial management is effectively taken care. So this is called configuration and customization. So in simple words, making the settings in the FICO software so that the requirements of the finance and accounts departments are met. That is the job of the consultant. So here our module is FICO. Now we will discuss what is FICO, what is going to be there in FICO, etc., etc. Then anybody is having any questions? Max Kamesh, you have any questions? Neeraj Khan, you have any questions?
No, I'm okay. I'm understand.
Okay. Then Pankaj, any questions? Pankaj, Roser, RV? Okay. RV, you have any questions? Yeah, you have to ask the training cost and all these things, Mr. Ravi, right? I'm just only the trainer here and I don't have the knowledge regarding the financials of this course and all these things. You have to contact Ravi only. RV, can you hear me? You have any questions, RV? Vinita? Okay. Then Jafar Ahmad? Yeah, I will tell you, all these things are covered. Marks, all these things are covered during that this discussion. Jafar Ahmad, you have any questions? No. Okay, fine, that's right. Now, here, this FICO is very demanded module and it is a combination of two modules. FI stands for financial accounting and CO stands for controlling. Here, using the financial accounting component, we can prepare the financial statements according to the legal provisions of the respective countries. So in order to prepare the financial statements, under the FI component, we have some other submodules, general ledger accounting, right? So which includes new general ledger accounting also. In the current version of SAP, the SAP company has developed three new functions: document splitting, parallel ledgers, and segmental reporting. So these new three topics together is called new GL. So we are going to cover the new GL also in our training classes. So after that we have the accounts payable, which is used to manage your supplier accounts. See, this is used, accounts payable is used to manage your supplier accounts. Then accounts receivable is used to manage your customer accounts. Then asset accounting to manage your fixed assets. Then treasury management to manage your cash resources. So within each module, right, we have the number of topics. It is not right time to discuss all these topics, right? You can ask Mr. Ravi or our training staff to send you the content, right? They will send you the detailed content. Then you can go through the content, what we are going to cover in each of the submodules of financial accounting. So after these 5 modules, I will show you how to prepare the financial statements. And here, in order to learn this FI component, we have to have only the basic understanding of financial accounting. So what is the basic understanding of financial accounting? See, there are 3 types of accounts: personal accounts, real accounts, and nominal accounts. So what is to be debited, credited according to personal accounts, real accounts, and nominal accounts, that itself is enough. Everything else is automatically taken care of by the system. So after this financial accounting component, we have the controlling. The main purpose of this controlling component is to provide the information to the management. Here we have the middle level management and top level management. The middle level management comprises the departmental heads. So at the end of every month, these departmental heads, they want to analyze their performance. For the performance analysis, they need some information. That information is provided by the controlling component. Similarly, we have the top management. The top management is responsible for strategic decision making. Strategic decision making means taking the decisions which have the long-term impact on the profitability of the company. They are called strategic decisions. So in order to take the strategic decisions, the top management also needs the information. So that information is also provided by the controlling component. So that's why this CO component is called internal reporting tool. internal reporting tool. So again, under the CO, one second. Okay, then no problem. Yeah. See here, using this controlling component, we can provide information to the management. That's why this is called internal reporting tool. So again, under the controlling component, we have the cost element accounting, cost center accounting, then internal order accounting, profitability analysis, profit center accounting, and product costing. So these are the 6 sub-modules I am going to cover in our training classes. Again, within each module, we have the number of topics. Then other topics, integration of financial accounting with the metals management. In the beginning of the trial class, in the beginning of the introduction class, I told you that when the invoice is entered in the purchase department, it is going to update the vendor account balances and inventory balances in the books of accounts of finance and accounts department. For that purpose, we need to connect, which is technically called integration. We need to integrate FI component with the metals management. This is called integration of financial accounting with the metals management. Then integration of financial accounting with the sales and distribution. Then we have the closing procedures, because once you prepare the financial statements, we have to carry forward the current year GL account balances, vendor balances, customer balances, and asset balances to the next year. All these activities are covered under closing procedures. Then I will give you some tips on ABAP and BASIS, because as a functional consultant, we are to interact with the ABAP consultants and BASIS consultants in the real time. So if you know a little bit of these things, right, it is easy for us to interact with them in the SAP terminology. That's why I'm going to give you some tips on ABAP and BASIS. So here, what is the methodology of the training? I will show you explain the concept first. First I will explain the concept. Then I will show you the step-by-step configuration. After doing the configuration, I will show you the posting of transactions, which is technically called testing. Then viewing the relevant reports and questions and answers on each topic. Right? Then after that, what are the training materials I'm going to provide you? I will give you the printed material for the step-by-step configuration, then step-by-step transaction processing materials, then step-by-step report generation material, how to generate the reports. I will show you all the materials now. Then I will give you interview and certification questions and answers. These are the materials I'm going to provide you. See here, for each module, I have prepared the materials like this. See, we have the presentations. Suppose, for example, we have to create organizational structure. As a functional consultant in the SAP software, we have to create organizational structure. So what is organizational structure and what is company code, what is business areas? First, I will explain all these concepts with the help of the presentations. Then this explanation was documented in another Word notes. See, what is company? The explanation is documented in the notes again. So here, I told you, we have to do the configuration settings. This is called configuration settings, creation of company. Suppose we have to create a company, right? Then I will explain what is company with the help of the presentation. Then this explanation is documented here, right? So how to create a company? This I will show you in the live server. So for creation of company, path is SPRO. What is path? I will tell you in the next first class. First we have to log into the servers, and how to log in and all these things I will cover in the next first class. Here I'm just demonstrating how we are going to proceed in the class. What is client, what is user ID, password, etc., we will discuss later on. So we have logged into SAP servers, right? Now, here path is SPRO. See, one second. After SPRO, we have the enterprise structure, right? Here, these are called folders. Enterprise structure. Then after enterprise structure, definition. Then after definition, we have financial accounting in your material. Then after financial accounting, we have defined company. So after defining company, we have click on new entries. This is the new entries button. So in order to create the company, right, we have to give some information in these fields. And all these fields I have documented in the material. So I will be telling you something. Suppose, for example, company ABCDEF, right? Then I will type this ABCDEF. Suppose, for example, LG Group, right? So LG Group. So I will type like this. Then you have to write LG Group against this company. So this is called configuration settings material. So for every module, general ledger, accounts payable, accounts receivable, asset accounting, treasury management, again for all the modules in controlling, I have prepared all the 3 types of materials. First I will explain the concepts with the presentations. Then the explanation is documented in the notes. Then configuration settings document. So I will send you all these 3 types of materials for every module. Suppose, for example, if you see GL, general ledger. In the general ledger, these are the presentations. These are the presentations, right? So with the help of the presentation, I will explain every concept. Okay. Then that explanation is documented here. Again, see how many types of data is there, and in every general ledger account you have to maintain some information. You have to maintain some fields. What is the use of those fields? Like that, this is the documentation for explanation. Then how to create GL accounts, etc. This is the configuration settings material, which contains 26 pages for the general ledger. Like that for accounts payable, accounts receivable, asset accounting. So that is how I proceed in the class. So for every module, I have prepared all these 3 types of materials. All these 3 types of materials will be sending to you. Okay. Then at the end of the classes, I will give you the certification materials and certification questions and answers. Then interview questions, interview answers, interview questions and answers. Then in the real time, we have to prepare lot of documentation. So what is the documentation we have to prepare? Then I have prepared the template documentation also for the students' convenience purpose. Then I will send you the business blueprints also. And I will send you the sample resumes. So I will give you all the equipment necessary for you to get the job in SAP. I am going to provide you with all the tools which are necessary for you to get the job. And during the practice, and you will be given access to servers 24/7. You will be given access to the servers 24/7. So anytime you can do the practice. And while doing the practice, if you get any questions or if you get any errors, you can mail me, right? You can mail me and immediately I will send you the solutions for your errors. As I told you, I have been in SAP teaching since 8 years, right? So with this experience, right, I will make you comfortable in the class, right? And of course, you might have experienced how elaboratedly and how clearly and detailedly I'm explaining you the concepts. The same type of training will be continued throughout the training classes. And the duration of the training is 60 hours. Duration of the training is 60 hours. We have the two formats of the training: daily classes and weekend classes. If it is the daily class, daily 1 hour, Monday to Friday, and if it is the weekend classes, it is on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday 2.5 hours and Sunday 2.5 hours. In any format, we have 5 hours a week. So 60 hours means 12 weeks, right? So when we are going to start the classes and what is the course fees and all these things, you just contact our training team, right? So this is how we proceed in the class. Kamesh, you have any questions? Kamesh, you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Pankaj? Roser? Roser, you have any questions? Okay. Then RVS? Vinita? Okay. Then it seems that Jafar Ahmad has gone online. Okay. So regarding the classes and other things, you can contact Mr. Ravi, right? Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lakshman.
I wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much, Lakshman. And if you have any queries, could you please contact my numbers 678 726 9795. Thank you.